So Alicia wants to know, Walter's World, what's the longest flight you've ever had? Well, Alicia, my longest flight I ever had is actually different than the longest flight that my luggage has ever had. My personal longest flight is when I flew from Chicago to LA, LA to Sydney, and then Sydney to Wagga Wagga in Australia, which would be an exchange student. That was a very, very, very long flight. I think it was like 4.5 hours from Chicago to LA. Then we waited on the tarmac for a few hours. Then we flew from LA to Sydney, which I think is somewhere between 12 and 14 hours. And then I had another connector, and then I flew like an hour and a half to Wagga Wagga. Okay, so that was the longest flight I ever had. The longest flight or I should say longest trip my luggage ever had is when we were as a family, we were flying from Chicago to Costa Rica. Should have been Chicago, Houston, Costa Rica. Should have been pretty quick. Well, it took our luggage 7 days to get there, and it went to Houston, San Antonio, Europe, came back, and then eventually met us again in Costa Rica. So I think that's the longest my luggage has ever gone, because it was literally 7 days of straight transit for my luggage going all over the world. So I hope that answers your question about my longest journey and my luggage's longest journey, because my luggage gets around sometimes too. Anyway, if you have other questions for us, let us know in the comments below, and we'll do our best to make a video to answer your travel questions or fun questions like this. And I'll say bye from here in York, England.